There are critics of the president within his own party and those without who hold him to have responsibility in that day and what happened at the U.S. Capitol. Do you think that the former president, Donald J. Trump, holds responsibility for what happened at the riots?
I don't. And I think Senator Tim Scott said it best when I heard him say, those who hold responsibility are those who committed those heinous actions that we all condemn. What those rioters did, and if the left says he's responsible, he's incited this, or even other Republicans, what I would say to them, well, these rioters, if they were so inspired by what the president was saying, they left the speech early because reportedly they showed up at the Capitol before the end of his speech. Mm-hmm. And then they did the exact opposite of what he said. He said, march peacefully and patriotically. And they did the opposite. And everyone in the administration was horrified by it, mostly because, Harris, I have to say, this does not represent our movement. And
this is just in. President Trump's former press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, has joined Fox News as a contributor, which is very exciting because it means that Jen Psaki, a.k.a. the ugliest redhead in the world, a.k.a. Circle Back Girl, is going to be getting some hardball questions. And we know she's a professional at not answering them, but it's going to be pure entertainment gold. As we know, Kayleigh McEnany is a savage and far more competent than the joke that Sleepy Creepy Joe has appointed as press secretary.
Before I was in the White House, I was on the campaign trail. And one of the things I love to do, and I did at every rally, was I went in the crowd with a microphone and just talked to these people. And I spent hours and hours of my time just talking to these people. And what was so sad to me that day is this was not the people that I met. This was not, when I was walking through the crowd at a rally, the woman who ran up to my pregnant belly, put her hands on my belly and said, "Can I pray for your daughter?" This was not the man I met days before Christmas Eve, who was out because of the First Step Act, who was sent to prison for a nonviolent offense and was out because of President Trump, and thanked me and thanked him for what he did. And this was not the veteran who literally told me he was about to commit suicide, and then President Trump came and was his voice and his hero and fixed the VA. Those people are the 75 million people, not these people. They do not represent our movement. They are the opposite of our movement, which is what I said at the podium and is what President Trump has said and will repeat.
Your predecessor, Kayleigh McEnany, has just signed on as a Fox News contributor. Wondering if you have any good wishes for her, advice, and if she does have a show, if you'd be willing to go on.
Sure. I've done Fox News Sunday twice now. I'm happy to go on a range of shows. I will say that I knew Kayleigh a little bit, not well. I met her when we were both CNN contributors, and we did a few shows. I'm not sure how many together. Like many Americans, we disagree on political issues, but we talked about our families, our spouses, sports, all sorts of things in the green room. And I certainly wish her the best in her future endeavors.
What was going on inside the White House as that was playing out? Because you and the president worked on a different timeline in terms of getting that message out that night.
I can only speak to the conversations that I had that day, and there was a unitary focus on peace and making sure that every resource available to the Capitol police officers was available to them. I'm not in the chain of command. I'm not part of the operations in the White House. I'm a spokesperson. But the sense I got from every conversation I had was sending help immediately as soon as possible. And even President Trump said on Sunday evening, I offered 10,000 National Guard, and they should have taken them. He knew it would be a big event, and he wanted peace. And every person in that administration, people who have worked on the Hill, like the Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, and many people who worked for me, they took it very personally because that was their former place of employment, and we all did. This is our country.
And it is my distinct pleasure today to welcome Kayleigh McEnany to the Fox family. We will be seeing much more of her in the future.